Cyberspace and social media for all this while has been Narendra Modi's bastion. This morning, Modi and his army were in for a big surprise because Feku, which was the Congress-backed hashtag, actually started trending way above Modi storms Vicky. This is the first time the Congress, as part of its digital media strategy, actually took on Modi on his own turf and caught the BJP completely off guard. We're debating Feku versus Pappu, the online battle of the trolls. Joining us on this program, we've got Sanjay Jha, co-founder of HamaraCongress.com. He leads, to some part, the Congress's online digital media initiative and was responsible for coming up with the idea of Feku. Joining us also, newly appointed spokesperson of the BJP, Meenakshi Lekhi. With me in the studio, Madhu Kishwar, veteran social and political analyst. Veer Sanghvi, one of India's foremost political commentators. I want to go across first to Meenakshi Lekhi, because so far each time the BJP has won the battle online. Pappu CII literally mocked Rahul Gandhi, made him look as someone who was a novice, didn't know what he was doing. But today you would have to concede that the Congress social media army caught you off guard, and BJP leaders were wondering when Modi was speaking, who's this Feku, who's this Feku, only to later realize that the joke was on Narendra Modi.
The fact it took time to realize that the joke was on Modi, it was a very poor joke, because what Modi said, and compare the content of Modi with Pappu, because Pappu actually sounded like Pappu and behaved like one by calling billion as millions as billions, by talking, by losing a sheet of paper, by talking Rani ki Jhansi at Jhansi ki Rani as Rani ki Jhansi, etc., etc., apart from the fact that in answering 2 questions, he took 37 minutes. So let's compare the content and not what a paid media can do or paid cells can do, and go on the ground and see for yourself what one speech meant and what the other speech meant.
Sanjay Jha, the Congress didn't have any cyber army of its own. You know, the BJP and Modi say that they've got followers who, very passionately care for all that Modi does and says. The Congress has outsourced this game. You are paying people. You are paying people to tweet. That's how you manage to get Feku to tweet. This is a paid for exercise by the Congress party. How do you respond to what the BJP said?
I think my laughter should say it all. I heard the BJP spokeslady Meenakshi Lekhi, and I'm very amused. She said something about the fact it was a bad joke, which is why they didn't understand it for a long time. But to understand the joke, you first need to have a sense of humor, besides some grey cells. But anyway, that's their problem, not mine. The second part, and let me tell you, because I'm glad you introduced me by saying that I am engaged with the Congress's social media strategy. I will confess publicly, yes, I am. And the truth, and this is the hard truth, okay? Anybody can challenge me on this one. We do not have an organized setup as on today. The people who made Feku, which is a fictitious, the image of a con man who basically spins a yarn but has no substance, which we attach to Mr. Modi, is something that we've observed very consistently as part of his rhetoric. He exaggerates. Worse, he's usually disingenuous when he makes his claims on Gujarat or whatever. So today, this was a creation, Rahul, and I'm saying so once again, and this is to tell Meenakshi Lekhi, we have not a single person who today participated on the entire Twitter exercise who was in any sense compensated or commercially gained by it. These are all passionate people. They're spontaneous. They believe in the concept of a secular, inclusive India. They're liberal in their mindsets. They believe in a society that's going to be more free. Some of the people in our tanks are Muslims who are fantastically open-minded. It embraces
Sanjay, okay, you
community.
Made your opening comments. Because this is exactly what Narendra Modi also used to say. Let me bring in Veer Sanghvi. Because exactly the same sort of arguments we've heard from the BJP also, when they claim that there's no one who's doing it in an organized fashion, that it's happening all by itself. The fact is, like Atish actually went to that office. You've got people who are typing in, they've got multiple accounts, and they are putting out lines that should suit Narendra Modi or Rahul Gandhi, as the case might be. This is now an organized activity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I suppose I'm allowed to plug India Today on your channel, but there was an excellent article in India Today by Kunal Pradhan 2 months ago, where he went to the BJP's control rooms. And before that, in other channels, which I will not plug on your show, people have gone to Narendra Modi's control room in Gujarat. There are people who are hired, so-called paid volunteers, who go out. There are people on watch lists. I'm probably on one of them. I'm sure Sanjay is on one of them. When we tweet something, when we appear on television, then the cyber army is let loose. These trolls with multiple accounts saying various offensive things in the hope that they will cow us into silence. When Narendra Modi speaks, they say he walks on the Sabarmati, he is so wonderful. So this is an organized racket. What the Congress has done now is shown they're as big racketeers as the BJP. They've done exactly the same thing. Two can play this game.
No, and Meenakshi Lekhi, in that sense, what the Congress is doing is not wrong. Why should cyberspace be dominated only by those who are affiliated to the BJP? The Congress says two can play. Congress is saying two can play this game. You do it, we'll do the same. So the BJP should actually welcome the challenge online.
No, I don't mind the challenge. I really don't mind the challenge. It's the money bags which I do mind, because it's the corruption money which is going into the flow, and especially considering some people are saying Digvijay has flown something like 100 crores into this project, apart from distributing not just Akash tablet, but some other tablets have been distributed. And when he talked about we have got excellent Muslim people, that means they are picking and choosing Muslims specifically and handing over the tablets and couple of androids to them, and that is where the danger lies. The danger is not in a Congress worker doing this job, I'm fine with it, or a BJP worker doing it, I'm okay with it. It is the money which is going in, and especially Sanjay Jha. I think he runs Mera Hamara Congress.com, and he's actually not a congressperson in that sense, but a paid employee of the Congress. That makes it different. And he's not
well, let me tell you, Rahul, can I respond to her?
Sanjay, you must respond, then I want to bring Madhu in.
Can I respond to her? Yeah. Well, let me tell you, that's a very serious allegation. When she talks about me being compensated, I can actually sue her for defamation here. But you know, I don't want to get into that.
Please.
She's walking into a trap as a lawyer.
No,
she should be a lot
I
more
will
careful what
welcome
she
that
says on
because
national
I'm a
television.
lawyer.
But I'll tell you a second point. The second point which I wanted to make, which Rahul, and I think the entire country is watching this debate, Meenakshi Lekhi, you have been made a national spokesperson. Speak with some discretion and responsibility. Because right now I think your senses have betrayed you.
Unfortunately,
the point I'm going to make,
one.
Rahul, is a very simple one. I wanted to make here that the team of supporters that we have in the Congress are all volunteers. They are doing so of their own discretion. They are doing so of their own volition. And it includes people from all communities. And I emphasize that we got a lot of people from the minority community, unlike the BJP, where you see nothing but a hardcore extreme right wing, and the abuse is never ending. I can tell you, I know a lot of people today who actually feel paranoid about going on Twitter and supporting the Congress, because they say, listen, I don't think our sensibilities will be able to bear the overwhelming abuse that we get from Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi's party and her tribe of RSS brigade on Twitter.
Okay, let me bring in Madhu Kishwar, because Madhu comes in for a lot of flack online for what people perceive are her sympathies towards Narendra Modi. But the fact, Madhu, is that this is a game two can play. The BJP is been doing this all this while. So if suddenly the Congress comes up with Feku and it starts trending ahead of anything that the BJP has got, because BJP wanted to go with Modi storms Fiki, that didn't happen. Do you think it's a fair game?
Rahul, you know very well, anybody who knows my life knows that I am not the kind who's ever gone anywhere near any party office, whether Congress or BJP, or have been ever associated in any way. I've been equidistant from all, and I have friends that I engage with in all parties. If somebody like me went and started looking at the facts, is because I began puking over the level and the mischievous demonization of this one man. Because riot for riot, Congress has such a string of riots, and much worse riots to its credit. Even in 2002, everybody knows it, it's been established that congressmen were out on the streets with VHP, BJP and Togadias creating mayhem. They've been caught. It's all been established. You look at SIT report, it has exonerated Modi on everything. And why is it that I started looking at Modi's speeches? Is because media demonization, NGOs went after just this one man as if there was no greater evil left on earth. And they were so partial to Congress. So I said, let me go and see for myself. I never opened my mouth till I visited Gujarat, began talking to people, studied all these reports, and I was truly horrified at the big gap between what is on the ground, what this man is doing, how the courts have exonerated him on every charge, and yet the media has been demonizing it at the behest of the Congress party. And I think the Congress, every time a Sanjay Jha or some of their friends open their mouth, they bring Renuka Chaudhary on, believe you me, it's leading to a tsunami of emotion to defend Modi. I never was. I mean, I had no connection with Gujarat. You forced me. Congress party forced me. Otherwise, my natural inclination would always be towards a party that Mahatma Gandhi founded. But no,
No,
today,
but the Congress is saying that he's Feku, that he
I'm saying
exaggerates.
it's so, that's the point. If you lie on such a scale, if you don't pay attention to the fact that it's not a closed door economy and society, you're not talking about some Timbuktu land which people haven't seen. Even truck drivers, I tell you, going from Punjab and Haryana, and I've talked to numerous of them, have become the biggest ambassadors of Modi in their respective states because they have it so much easier. Not only because the quality of roads is better, there are no octroi checks, there's no extortion, you're not harassed by the police. It's a different world. And today, one among his big ambassadors, self-appointed, I mean, nobody can hire truck drivers to do that. And I've talked to numerous of them. They are the biggest supporters of Modi, and they take this message back to their villages, which is why Congress does not wake up. It does not stop spewing poison. If it does not take him on politically, if it only demonizes him, and at the lowest level, you call him scorpion, you call him bhesa, you call him, the dirtiest, filthiest vocabulary is used. And Muslims are voting for him. I mean, I started my study of Gujarat by talking primarily first to Muslims.
So you're
I said, it's so off the mark. For God's sake, wake up. Because you're in for big trouble, my friend.
Sanjay Jha, Madhu Kishwar says, wake up. You're pushing people towards Narendra Modi. It's a tsunami of sympathizers who get pushed towards Modi because of your wild campaign.
Firstly, listening to Madhu Kishwar makes me realize that I must have been terrible in geometry when I was in school, because I just discovered equidistance has a completely new definition. Congratulations to you.
Not
Madhu
anymore.
Kishwar.
I'm
But
not
just
equidistant
a
anymore, Sanjay.
Just a question.
You
just a
pushed
question
me
to you,
and
Madhu
thank you.
Kishwar.
Thank you for pushing
Just
me.
a question to you, Madhu Kishwar. So 1 minute. So Amit Shah is Minister of State for Home. Who is the Home Minister at that point of time? And you believe that proximity has no relevance. Amit Shah goes to jail, Mr. Modi is absolutely...
I want to take you on that, because that's
he was
such
not
an
even aware
evil
of it.
thing
1
you're
minute.
doing.
In 2002, Madhu Kishwar, can I talk? You can please retaliate thereafter. In 2002, thousands die. And this man, you are promoting him as a model of governance? You call that governance? You call that law and order maintenance by the man who was supposed to look after each and every life in that city? You call that governance? No, you also believe that, 1 minute, let me answer, I'm not done yet. And you believe that over the last 10 years, this development spin, which we all know, and you don't need further evidence from me, I don't want to waste Rahul's precious time on this channel, but whether it's malnutrition, literacy, whether it's farmer suicides, whether it's any degree of the factors that you have to control when you look at whether the state is prosperous or not, it's wrong. And even today when he went to address women, he forgot to tell you that the sex ratios worsened incrementally in the last 10 years under Narendra Modi's reign, worse for women as opposed to men.
Okay,
And you're talking like a Rattu Tota. The same script, for God's sake. Things have moved on, their script hasn't. Now, for example, if you read the SIT report, what does it tell you? This is the first time that in Gujarat, riots were controlled within 20 hours, within 3 days. Within 20 hours, the army was fully deployed. George Fernandes, as defense minister, was there on the very first day, saw to the deployment of the army within 20 hours with magistrates, equipped with mobile phones, everything. That doesn't show bad intent. During Congress regime, there were riots, dozens of riots every year, Curfews would go on for weeks on end, sometimes up for 2 months. And people had come to see that as the normal state of thing. Now, Gujarat has been not only riot-free, that was controlled within 3 days. Secondly, Akshardham happened, no retaliation allowed. Series of bomb blasts happened, no retaliation allowed. And coming to Amit Shah, which is, I think, one of the most evil things they've done. Now, we all know that encounter killings in Nitish Kumar's Bihar, thousands of encounter killings happened.
Thousands.
Thousands. Please check the record. People will tell you. No, I'll tell you why.
All of them got under.
No. I'm saying, please check, because Maoist areas, they are happening in the northeast. Encounter killings in hundreds are taking place every year. In Kashmir, they are taking place.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. Here, these are 6 known gangsters, both Hindu and Muslim. Just 6. And it's not as if Amit Shah as Home Minister went and killed them personally. Has any Home Minister been tried for encounter killings in Maoist areas, in encounter killings in Kashmir, in encounter killings in so many, in Maharashtra, so many? The point I'm trying to make is 6 encounter killings is the sum total. And what you're doing is,
he's been demonized.
I'm saying, please try Batla House encounter. Digvijay Singh said Batla House encounter killings were fake. And yet you've not allowed the CBI to investigate that. You are calling your own government's encounter killings fake.
Okay.
And yet the Home Minister should have been then put on trial. What you're doing is so excessive. For God's sake, I'm telling you, wake up. Even people who in their wildest dream wouldn't think of voting for BJP, leave alone becoming defenders, are saying, बहुत हो गया यार, गजब इतना मत करो, इतना कुफ्र मत तोलो,
while people
कि उल्टी आए. Why we are puking today?
Veer is laughing. Veer, while everybody
Actually, I'm laughing, not puking, but go ahead. Now, can we get back to the debate? We really started rather than sort of pre-scripted, I love Modi and I love the Congress stuff that we're getting now. The point is that the Modi campaign always complained, and the BJP always said that while the media was biased against it, what we would call MSM on in social media, people like you and me, that there was a social media presence which was very pro-BJP. And to some extent it was true, because initially it was the NRIs who understood social media who started writing about Modi on the internet. Afterwards, at some stage, I'm not sure when, it became much more organized. It became, as Sanjay Jha correctly says, a little bit like a lynch mob. Every time you went on, you will remember when we did the Gujarat election, I said to you that they tried to give you the impression that there's this vast Chaddiwala army moving around defending Modi. Actually, it's a few people in control rooms, and the trolls immediately went for me. The last time I was on, we had Smriti Irani on the show, and she took as proof the fact that Rahul had failed, the fact that Pappu at CII was actually trending, whereas what the Congress had wanted was not trending. So the BJP has always claimed that this was their area of strength. For reasons that are not clear to me, the Congress has just completely ignored this constituency. What today shows us is that the Congress is now doing it. It may well be, as Sanjay Jha says, that Congress supporters never wanted to tweet, and suddenly they woke up one morning and said, hey guys, we're going to tweet now and we're going to abuse Modi. It may be. I mean, it's possible. If you believe that, you believe pigs will fly. What's clear is that the Congress has decided that they're going to counterattack, and it's going to be concentrated, well-coordinated counterattack, and judging by today's work.
But Sanjay, the fact is the Congress was late. Modi was
media to do its job, and the mainstream media helped Congress demonize Modi, and therefore Congress didn't need to. Now they are there in the warfare. The point I'm trying to say is, please be intelligent.
No,
your
Sanjay Jha, Narendra
obscene.
Modi was ahead of the curve. Let's admit that. Okay, he set the benchmark. The Congress is now desperately trying to play catch up. Why did it take Rahul Gandhi, each time he was asked in private interactions publicly, he said Bharat matters, Twitter, social media, Facebook, doesn't matter, you people don't even go and vote. Now that reflects a problem in the attitude. Narendra Modi realized the potential, he harnessed the potential, and now for the longest time, you will try and play catch up. You will get happy about getting Feku to trend, but if you look at the social media power that Modi has, the influence he has, he's way ahead of what the Congress has.
Well, I'll agree with you on both counts, Rahul. I don't want to beat about the bush here. Facts are facts, and I don't want to ignore them. Number one, was the BJP off the curve faster than us? The answer is yes. Have we woken up a little belatedly? The answer there is yes as well. Let me also assuage Veer. Veer is quite right when he says that, that that we decided to take on Modi today. But let me tell you, it's not a sudden thought. Yes, we did think about it a couple of days ago, but the difference is that we don't have people who are paid salaries or who are paid by the hour, who sit in front of computer screens across different offices in India, waiting to hit at certain people, target some people every time they tweet anything against Modi, or just do a singular attack with some kind of a premeditated plan. No, we didn't have that.
But
even today,
Veer Sanghvi had a very important question. If there were so many Veer Sanghvi has a very important question. If there were so many Congress supporters online, how is it that they were dormant or non-existent till the time Digvijay Singh put this army together? You joined it, Tehseen Poonawalla, a couple of other people came along, Manish Tiwari helped, Pankaj Pachori helped. Suddenly, the Congress army is hitting back at the BJP. Why don't you admit that this is happening as part of a concerted strategy? You are doing what the BJP did and beat you with first. Admit that.
Be intelligent about it.
Can I tell you, Rahul? Can I tell you in very simple terms? Believe me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. And I want Veer to also please kindly believe me once. The point I'm making is we do not have a formal structure even today. We are, and I'm telling you right now, social media agencies interested in working for the AICC, please apply. We are looking around for good people. We are going to create a team. But I can tell you, under no circumstances is it going to be of the scale and operation that the BJP has. And I'll tell you why. The difference is that this is the way I think the Congress even works today, at the ground level. You go back to what Rahul Gandhi said in Jaipur. He sounded tongue-in-cheek, but I think he hit the nail on the head. He said, listen, sometimes we win an election and we don't know how we did it, despite the fact that we are not as good in booth management as our opposition. It's a truism. I was in Uttar Pradesh a couple of weeks ago, and I can tell you it was no different from what he said.
Meenakshi.
So the point I'm making is why the BJP needs a modern technology platform like Twitter more than Congress is because they are a party stuck in an ideological time warp. Being on Twitter or Facebook makes them feel contemporary and alive. That's
Meenakshi, why does the BJP not admit that a lot of the trolls at work, a lot of the BJP supporters at work actually work out of a confined space? They've got multiple IDs, journalists have gone in, they've shot those war rooms, they are volunteers, whether they get paid or not, we can't establish conclusively, but there are people who do this in an organized fashion. The BJP and the Congress must both admit that so the people who are watching know the reality and then can figure out what they want to make of it.
I'll come to this part second, in my second step to the answer. The first step is the media, the role of the other media, the contemporary media. The contemporary media, whether it's print or it's the channels, most of the private media in one form or the other depends on equity. And unfortunately, 60 years of misrule has led to the equity in the hands of people who have been Congress supporters, and somewhere this media more or less was controlled by Congress. And then which country? The government runs 2 channels and 3 channels here. The Lok Sabha TV, Rajya Sabha TV, Doordarshan and various other forms of Doordarshan are run by Government of India.
You aren't answering my question. I don't get the point.
Information and Broadcasting. I'm coming. Rahul, I'm coming to your answer. Let me build the foundation. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting acts not as the Minister of the country, but acts more or less like a Congress spokesperson. I don't know how many thousand crore is the budget of all these 3 put together along with TID. Now, how does an opposition space fight this kind of media management? Because according to me, no channel should be manned by any government. No newspaper.
No, but you didn't do anything about it when Pramod Mahajan was the IND minister.
No,
I'm sorry, it's now okay to get holier than thou. The fact is when the NDA was in government, you did nothing to make the public broadcaster more autonomous, but that's not answering my question. Everybody wants to have their own debate on Rahul and Modi. You're not answering my question. I have the right to be heard.
I am answering your question. You have a right to be heard. I'm on your channel. I have as much right to be heard. You are not behaving.
But you must answer my question.
And allow me to answer. I'm answering your question.
Yes, please.
And I'm building this foundation. The need for Twitter and Facebook for the BJP was because the other media is not available. That space is already controlled space. This was a free space. So BJP workers thought this to be the best space to directly contact and be in touch with people. But this is a very small group. And we know the moment we started building our own brands, how the trolls were following and the kind of abuses and the kind of language they use. They come to the channel heads, like they come to the channel offices like Mr. Jha trying to pretend holier than thou, and the language he uses. And I've seen it. Divine. I think I am very divine in his eyes, and he's I can only call him Sanjay, Sonj. I mean, he's very jealous, and that's why he's conducting himself in this fashion.
Wow.
And this was
This
the
is
need
turning out to be
that
very
these people
personal. I
started
wasn't expecting
conducting
that, but go ahead.
No, but this is
I'm
a
sorry,
problem.
Mr.
This is a genuine
Sanjay.
problem, Veer. The language
Sanjay,
that's
I
used,
have to-
both by
I
the
have
Congress
to-
supporters and the
like you-
BJP supporters,
when-
they view it from a very black and white prism. Either you're with us or against us. Till you're with us, you are nationalistic media. The moment you're not with us, you become paid media.
But that's the way it's always been. I mean, I agree with a lot of what Meenakshi said. The BJP did believe that MSM was in the hands of Congress supporters. Where I disagree with her is this business about Doordarshan. Not only did the BJP not make any attempt to make Doordarshan truly autonomous, Pramod Mahajan actually launched DD News, a news channel controlled by the government which put out the BJP's point of view. So I don't think there's much to choose between the Congress and the BJP. The only difference was that until now the Congress, which is full of young leaders, people who are computer literate, versus the BJP, where Ravi Shankar Prasad is considered a youth leader, just abandoned this whole cyberspace constituency. Now finally they've got it right. What you're going to see, I think, is more organized attacks, more dirty wars. It's going to get messier and messier.
Why is Rahul Gandhi not on Twitter, Sanjay?
Well, let me tell you, the reason why he's not on Twitter is because of the reason that he's got to hit the road. He's got to make the party strong at the
Modi does
grassroots
the
levels.
same.
He's communicating. 1 minute, he's communicating across the board. And there are a lot of elements of both the party and the government which are taking care of the communication. Now, if he comes on Twitter, he doesn't want to just come on Twitter for the sake of a synthetic presence. If he comes in, he would like to communicate. And this is going to be a very, very busy.
No, he's begun to communicate now.
Let me also tell you.
He went to
let
CII.
me also tell you there is a lot of pressure on him from a lot of Congress supporters to say exactly what he's saying. Why don't you get on Twitter? He's heard everybody out, and he's recognized that he needs to come in at it at some point, but not right now immediately.
No,
Because
but
it's important
does
to
it
address
show at some
bigger
level,
national
Madhu,
critical issues?
that Rahul Gandhi didn't read the curve? Modi read it, even though, you know, he's essentially someone who began as a chaiwala. Look at how quickly he figured the power of technology. Rahul Gandhi, for all his foreign education, couldn't figure out till the writing was on the wall.
See, two things. Firstly, Modi has substance to communicate, A, because he knows India. Chappa chappa of India he knows, personally. He knows their life stories. He doesn't have to go for one day poverty mongering trip. He knows these things because of long years of very intense experience. The second point is he's delivering governance. So he's not, I mean, I think it's wrong to think or present it as a case of media management or image building. He's giving you content today. The speeches, for example, were nothing appealing to this or that media lobby. They were giving you concrete instances of what he's doing, what he has achieved, and his intense, deep knowledge of both ordinary people's lives as well as macro issues, the micro and the macro. All of it he's sharing with you. He has a lot to communicate. And therefore, people are following him, not because he's marketing himself. I don't think, I mean, he's neither as suave looking as Rahul, not so dimple-cheeked, I mean, any day. And I think as long as Rahul kept quiet, there was a mystique around him. The more he's speaking, his speeches are leaving people appalled. A, because he can't manage without a script. That's
Madhu
okay,
Kishwar, I think that applies
Secondly,
to Narendra Modi, not to Rahul Gandhi. In fact, the more he's talking, he's getting exposed.
He's still
And 40%, 60% of
tutored.
his followers are fake.
You know, he
And
needs
60% of his followers are
tutors,
fake.
he still needs.
No, but Veer, this is important. Rahul Gandhi, for all his foreign education, didn't read the curve.
But there is
As
not
a
much
leader,
education
it also,
there, actually.
It also correlates with
Even
your
that
leadership
education
capabilities.
is a hoax.
Despite having the better pedigree educationally, academically.
His education, I would like to know which university.
Which university?
Degree does
There's no
he have?
education there.
Okay,
It's
given
a
his
pretend.
upbringing, Modi still caught on to the trend much faster.
I think, isn't that one of the ironies of Indian politics, that the Baba Lok with their foreign degrees and their computers and their fancy phones completely missed out on what was really happening, how technology was changing the way in which people communicated, how social media had become so important, and the BJP, which they like to portray as this backward party of villagers and rustics and small shopkeepers, actually understood what was happening.
And that is credit to Narendra Modi,
It's
Meenakshi
not just
Lekhi, which
media,
no one can
it's
take away from him.
performance. It's
Even
performance which is speaking.
even
Please
today in the
don't
speech,
treat
he
it as a
constantly
media
spoke of social
management
media. He says, if
exercise.
you have a comment on my
More than-
capabilities or you have
more
feedback,
than-
write to me on Twitter, write to me on Facebook. I will then respond to you. So he clearly knows how to engage with his audiences, and that's something that Rahul Gandhi cannot say. Meenakshi
Rahul.
Lekhi.
Rahul, what I'm trying to say, it's not just because I know some people who engage PR management agencies and they keep wondering about others who are getting mileage without them. So,
Yeah, like
question
Narendra Modi
is
uses
not-
APCO, you mean? Are you referring to APCO,
I'm
Meenakshi
sorry,
Lekhi? Used by Narendra Modi?
Mr. Sanjay Jha, Sanjay Jha or Sanjay, please keep quiet when I'm speaking because I again will have to reduce myself to your level, which I don't wish to.
It's a little high for
The
you.
question is, in spite of, you can have a superiority complex, but I think people of India are watching you and me, and they would know which side has more grey matter and which side doesn't have. The rest
So
of
let them
grey
decide.
matter, all
Meenakshi,
white
let them
matter,
decide.
and
You
there's
don't
a scene.
you don't
keep
prejudge
quiet.
it. Let them
So
So
decide.
I request you to keep quiet when I'm speaking and I'm answering.
Okay.
You see, the question is, no amount of PR management can manage your life and manage your performance. End of the day, it is your performance which matters. Whether it's the TV or it's the newspaper, no amount of fraud stories can carry you forward. 10 years, Congress has managed these fraud stories, incorrect facts in the media about Narendra Modi, but I think it's his performance which is speaking for itself, and no amount of sugarcoating will help when a person is bereft of the material essential.
Okay, that's an
And
important
when a
point.
person
The
who's
fact that
bereft-
when Narendra Modi is speaking, where he seems to be speaking from the heart, he's extempore, unlike Rahul Gandhi, who's reading from a prepared script, and therefore Narendra Modi comes across as being more believable than Rahul, who could possibly be reading somebody else's words.
Look, we had the same discussion last time it was on. We had Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the greatest orator in Indian history, who spoke from the heart, swayed crowds. We had Sonia Gandhi, who read from pieces of paper. Guess who won that election?
I think this complacency is really going to, just as Pramod Mahajan's complacency cost the BJP a lot and BJP cadres, this complacency is going to cost the Congress a great deal. And let me tell you, I'll remind you of a comment that Ralph Miliband, was it, that minister, British
David
minister,
Miliband?
who was taken by Rahul, some British minister, who was
David
taken,
Miliband.
David
Miliband.
Miliband.
There's no personal.
Yeah, right. He was taken by Rahul to a tour of his constituency, including that
We all
Dalit
know what
head.
happened,
No,
yes.
but you know what was his comment he made on going back home? He said he found it very strange that he could not engage Rahul in any big issue. Rahul could only talk about a computer center here, a paper litter workshop there, those little NGO little things
Okay.
in his constituency, and a man presenting himself as a prime ministerial aspirant or pushed in that role has no idea of the world.
Okay, I want
Couldn't talk
quick-
any big
Okay,
issues.
I want quick final
That
comments
was,
from
that
Meenakshi
was
Lekhi.
David many years ago.
Sanjay Jha has revealed an headline that for 2 days they plotted their scheme, they came and hit you with Feku, the BJP was caught off guard. These are the facts. Next time, you will be more prepared. Next time the battle will be more even, because later there was a rearguard action where you tried to make Rahul seem Feku. But the fact is the Congress for the first time caught you off guard, and therefore you must say Sanjay 1 tonight to you, 0 to the BJP, at least as far as Feku versus Pappu
But
is
the
concerned.
quality of their responses are tragic. See, I get a lot of both. And believe
you know-
me, it appalls me, the quality of hate mail that I get from the Congress and their defense of their...
Okay, Meenakshi Lekhi,
Meenakshi
quickly,
is
I'm also out of
sounding,
time.
like
Appalling.
Madhu Kishwar here.
Can Meenakshi finish?
You see,
I don't know who's speaking. Is it Meenakshi or Madhu? They're sounding alike.
Let Meenakshi make a concluding comment.
You'll see me, you're haunted by me, Mr. Jha, and I don't blame you for that.
listen, I'm not used to
Mr.
nightmares,
Iyer
but
too
anyway,
is
carry on.
haunted. I know.
Next time
you
you
must
will-
get nightmares. looking
I
at
think the
somebody
anchor is
who
not
BJP.
required in this
And
debate.
you
Just
better
put
get-
Sanjay and Meenakshi together.
Yeah.
If you don't have a helmet, then God help either of you. But no, I have a question. The question
No,
is
I
this.
respect her. I respect
No,
her.
the question is this. Next time the BJP will be more on guard, more prepared for a Congress online assault. Meenakshi, serious question.
I really don't know, because I only manage my account, and that too with a great difficulty. I'm not able to handle everybody. I just make my stand, which
Okay.
I think appeals to me, and nothing more than that. So,
We'll very
I
quick
would
finding
request
points, and where is this
everyone
battle
who's a
going?
BJP supporter
All
to
right.
be online.
Yes, quick.
3 points. One is you've seen the level of the debate today. Multiplied, magnified by 100 times. That's how black and white and how dirty this battle is going to get. 2, yes, the Congress won this round, but the score now stands as 1,000 to 1. They've lost the last 1,000 rounds.
That's a very, very important point that we're saying.
Yeah, and 3, my compliments to Madhu and Meenakshi. This is the first time I've been on a show with Meenakshi where she seems soft-spoken and reasonable because she's got Madhu with her.
Okay, 1,000 points to Modi, 1 point to Team Congress. Sanjay Jha, you got a lot of catching up to do, but at least there's a battle. Today, the Congress might have won this battle, but the war. Very quickly, my producers are getting very edgy, Sanjay.
Yeah, no. I'll tell you what, it's not one, it's much more.
back?
It's much more. This one has got a lot more attention. But just 3 days ago, when he went about his visa card, when we found a foreign delegation came, which was paid by the friends of BJP, we tweeted Modi for visa card only, 8 lakhs. It was such a big story, it got covered even by foreign publications. So we've been hitting them in guerrilla attacks several times. But yes, on a highly publicized count, this is a big one. So I think it's still
What
one
about
zero
the performance of your
Feku.
state government?
Okay,
That is what's needed.
We'll have another
Where
debate.
is the
Part
performance
2,
of your
center
state
stage
government?
tomorrow.
Come up with that.
Congress group.
Just an anti.
Meenakshi, very quickly, 10 seconds only, Meenakshi.
Anti will not work.
Hi
Show us your
Magazine.
track
Hi
record.
Magazine is controlled by Congress group. And so far as Mr. Sanghvi's comment is concerned, I can only say whoever appears opposite me, my response depends on that person.
Okay, for the rest of the debate, just go across to our Twitter handles. I'm sure there'll be a raging debate taking place when all of you go back and check your accounts. For the time being, Sanjay Jha, Madhu Kishwa, Meenakshi Lekhi and Veer Sanghvi for joining us on a fascinating debate. Let there be debate, let there be argument, and in the end, let the better man win. Thank you very much.